Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining. One of my most frequently asked questions and biggest concern for patients is aging, memory loss, and how to prevent it. Though there's no actual way to prevent aging, there are ways to slow it and improve it. I'm Dr. Jennifer McKenzie. I am board certified in family medicine as well as obesity medicine, and I'm going to share 6 evidence-based tips to save your brains and beauty. I didn't include the obvious ones like eating a good diet, not smoking tobacco, and limiting alcohol, as by now I'm sure you've heard those a million times. And though they're true, I am going to get straight into some less frequently discussed tips and my top tips for you today. So number 1 is sunscreen. I'm confident every dermatologist would agree that sunscreen is a way of life. It should be worn daily, rain or shine. No longer live the days of tanning beds and baking in the sun with tanning oils. Not only does it prevent skin cancer, but it's one of the best things you can do for your skin to look youthful a lot longer. If you want to prevent wrinkles later in life, sunscreen is your best bet. Of course, there's Botox, but you know what they say, an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound of cure. Sunscreen is also substantially cheaper than Botox. Tans are nice, but being wrinkle-free and cancer-free is even better. Number 2, exercise consistently. Many studies have shown that consistent cardiovascular activity lowers the risk of dementia by around 30% and around 45% for Alzheimer's specifically. If you are thinking you missed the boat on this, don't worry. Most of these studies were conducted in middle-aged patients or older, so there is still time and still hope. And just to clarify, cardiovascular activity is any aerobic activity that gets the heart pumping. You should aim for around 5 days a week for roughly 30 minutes each. Piggybacking off of cardiovascular exercise is balance and strength activities. As we age, starting as early as in our 30s, we start to lose muscle and lean body mass on a rate of 3 to 5% per decade. As you get older, that rate actually increases. We know that loss of lean mass is one of the biggest causes of functional decline and loss of independence. As you lose your muscle mass, you become more fragile, have significantly increased risk of falls, fractures, and all-cause mortality. Did you know that the 1-year mortality rate for a hip fracture is a whopping 22%? That means that almost 1 in 4 will die after a hip fracture within the next year. The best way to prevent a hip fracture is to build bone and muscle strength with resistance exercises and work on improving balance to prevent falls to begin with. Tai Chi is a proven activity to significantly reduce the risk of falls in older adults, while resistance training comes in the form of resistance bands, hand weights, or even lifting your own body weight. You should aim for 20 to 30 minutes a few times a week if you can. You can also check out your local community or senior center, as classes such as bone builders or Tai Chi are often offered for free or reasonably priced. You can even kill 2 birds with 1 stone by combining socialization and activity all in one during these classes, which leads me to my number 4, socialization. Isolation has been very well documented in research to be risk factors for dementia and cognitive decline. Some studies have shown that an older adult with minimal to no social interactions are more than twice as likely to have cognitive decline than a counterpart that has 5 to 6 social connections. Other studies have shown that people who report feelings of loneliness are more than twice as likely to show signs of dementia. Connecting with family, friends, activity groups, or getting involved in the community can prevent age-related cognitive decline. We aren't sure why this is so important, but some ideas favor that it's stimulating to the brain and that our brains as humans are evolved to support social connections and interactions. And just to be clear, I don't mean social media as a means of socialization. It's no secret that over the last decade or so, the rise of social media has led to decline in face-to-face meaningful socialization. So take this opportunity to get off your phone and go interact with somebody. It will save your brain later. Number 5 is hearing aids. New studies suggest that hearing aids for people who have moderate to severe hearing loss can reduce the risk of dementia by half. Over 23% of Americans over the age of 12 have some form of hearing loss. The severity, though, is often worsened with age. Though we're not 100% sure the connection of hearing and cognitive function, we have a few theories. It seems to be the more the brain is stimulated, the less likely you are to develop dementia. And auditory stimulation is one of our biggest sources of stimulation, which activates the brain. The other observance is that people who don't hear as well tend to have less social interactions, which brings us back to the previous importance of socialization in preventing memory loss. So the moral of the story is get hearing aids and wear them if you need them. You'll thank me later. Number 6, take care of your other health conditions. Preventing and/or treating other conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, and cholesterol help prevent damage to vital organs, including your brain. Optimizing your health can prevent major events such as stroke and heart attack, which can obviously lead to brain damage. But don't forget about the silent and microscopic damage that can happen over time with these conditions, which can lead to things such as vascular dementia. We all age, and it's inevitable, but if you stick to these tips, you'll be better off. For a lot of people, aging can be very scary, and knowing the facts and what you can do to help it can prevent it from being as scary. Stay tuned for a future video on how to tell the difference between normal age-related memory changes versus signs of dementia. In the meantime, take care of yourself and take care of your health.